brain, the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. But the forebrain is so well developed, so overwhelming, that the other features, other structures of the brain are totally covered or masked. So what you see here, two cerebral hemispheres that form collectively the cerebrum, that is the seat of our intelligence. The two cerebral hemispheres in between is the what is called longitudinal fissure. And could I get I have that brain from that model? Yeah. You got everything? No, you, sure,
yeah.
Sure, very good. Yep. Now, it's the two cerebral hemispheres are connected by neural tissue, that is white matter, called corpus callosum. So when you make a mid-sagittal section, you get two halves. Do you get that? Now, there are different regions of the brain, of the cerebral hemispheres, and they are called lobes: frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe, and the occipital lobe. And there are elevations and depressions. Oh, could you please, what is that half head? That half head? Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So each one is called gyrus, sural gyri, and this depression is called sulcus. Like here, you can see the sulcus and the gyrus. You see the corpus callosum. Brain is not solid. Brain has cavities. The cavities are called ventricles. And I have model on ventricles. Now how the model was made. Since the brain has cavities, the cavities were filled with plastic, liquid plastic, plastic solidified, and then from the brain, taking the brain out, you have these ventricles. These two lateral ventricles, and you can see the lateral ventricle over here. There you go. Lateral ventricle. These two lateral ventricles, then two lateral ventricles, and the third ventricle. This one is the third ventricle. Here the third ventricle is over here. And if I take this Humpty Dumpty, there you go. Each one is called thalamus, is a part of the forebrain. And the thalamus, if you cut open, the third ventricle is over here. This is the third ventricle. So here is the third ventricle, all right? This is the third ventricle. And in this model, I'm holding the third ventricle. Third ventricle is connected to fourth ventricle by a duct. This is the duct. This duct is called cerebral aqueduct. You can see the cerebral aqueduct here in this model. Look. Lateral ventricle, third ventricle, fourth ventricle. This is the cerebral aqueduct. This is the fourth ventricle. And then this is spinal cord. This is central canal of spinal cord. So fourth ventricle is connected to the central canal of the spinal cord. And what will you find there inside the ventricles? And CSF, cerebrospinal fluid, made by ependymal cells, circulated by ependymal cells. Very good. When you cut through that mid-sagittal section, you also cut through the cerebellum. This is part of the hindbrain. Cerebellum is the second largest structure of the brain. After cerebral hemisphere, the cerebellum. You get that? When you cut the cerebellum, you find the tree-like branching of white matter. Can you see it? And this is called arbor vitae. V-I-T-A-E. Vitae. Do you know, you write when you apply for a job, you write what? Resume? Resume is also called CV. Do you know that? What is that? Curriculum vitae. It is about your life. Okay? Curriculum vitae. And this is arbor vitae. All right. This is the brain stem. I'm holding, yeah? It's like Statue of Liberty. Two thalami. What do you see here? Two optic nerves. The crossing of the optic nerves called the optic chiasma, optic chiasm. And the portion here, this part is called optic tract. That's the part of the brain, central nervous system. This is optic tract. So right optic nerve going to the left, left optic nerve going to the right, left, right, crossing optic chiasma, just like this. The crossing is called the chiasma, plural chiasmata anyway. We are not using any plural. If you look below the optic chiasma, you will find two rounded bodies called mammillary bodies. But on the other side, dorsal side, you will see double butt. The four bodies called corpora, quadrigemina or tectum, the superior colliculi and inferior colliculi. You get that? And on top of superior colliculi, two colliculi, you will find that pink, that body is called pineal gland. The pineal gland. Okay?
I have a question.
Yeah.
The corpora.
Quadri